This video class will teach you what you understand by partial variation. Let's have how you can get the meaning of partial variation. When a tailor makes a dress, the total cost depends on two things. First, the cost of the cloth. Secondly, the amount of time it takes to make the dress. We all know that there must be a cost of price that tailor must charge for sewing any cloth. But two things usually involves the amount of times is spent on the times of the difficult and the simple one. He continued, he said, the cost of the cloth is constant, which we all know is very constant because it is sure there must be the cost of making a cloth is constant, but the time taken to make the dress can vary. Why? A simple dress will take a short time to make. A dress with a difficult pattern will take a long time. In our practical sense, when a tailor is making a very simple style without adding any pattern to it, surely it will take a short time to do it. But when a tailor is making a cloth of a difficult pattern, it will take a longer time. And you can't expect the tailor to charge you the same amount when it's having a short time and short when it's using a short time to make a dress. You cannot expect the tailor to charge the same price when it's making a longer time of a difficult pattern to have the same cost that it will collect from the customer. No, it will surely you personally, you know that you must pay the tailor the high price because he's taking much of your time to sew a difficult patterns of your clothes. So all these examples is an examples of partial variation. He said this is an example of partial variation. So this expression is represented by partial variation algebraic. He said the cost is partly constant, which we all know. It's constant that the tailor must collect an amount of money, so it's partly constant and partly varies with the amount of time taken. It will partly varies because when it's taking a very short time, when it's using a short time to sew your cloth, you have a very small money to collect. But when it's taking high amount of high time that is taking, you surely collect another amount. That's why he said the cost is partly constant and partly varies with the amount of time taken. In algebraic form, C is equal to A plus KT, where C is the cost, T the time taken, and A and K are constant. So this is when you are able to have gotten the meaning of this, you understand how to solve any questions of partial variation. Example 1. The cost of maintaining a motorcycle is partly constant and partly varies as the number of kilometers covered. If the motorcycle covers 500 kilometers, it costs 350 naira to maintain. If it covers 2,500 kilometers, it costs 950 to maintain. Find the cost of maintenance when it cover 3,500 kilometers. So what first we are going to do, you represent some terms here that the cost of maintaining a motorcycle, you said, let's see, represent the cost of maintaining motorcycle. So C has represented the cost, and let L represent the number of kilometer covered. Number of kilometer covered. So let A and B represent their constants. So this is A and B represent their constant. So let's now interpret the statement from this question. It said the cost of maintaining a motorcycle, you said the cost is an equality sign, is partly constant. The fixed constant is partly constant, and means plus in mathematics. Partly varies as the number of kilometer covered. Partly varies as the number of kilometer covered. This is the number of kilometer covered. So this is the mathematical interpretations of the partial variation. Now, we now want to be representing it one by one. It said, if the motorcycle covered 500 kilometers, it cost 350. You said, when cost is 350, when the cost is 350, the kilometer covered, the number is 500 kilometers. So our second statement is, it said, if the motorcycle covered 500 kilometers, it cost 350. Let's put the statement inside the equation. What is our cost? C, which is 350 naira, is our constant A, plus 500 kilometers, that is 500 B. We can easily to call this equation 1. So you must be interpreting according to the statement. We are through with the second statement now. So let's go to the third statement. When the amount, he said, when the cost is 950, he said, if it covered 2,500 kilometers, it costs 950 naira. That is what it costs, 950 naira. And the number of kilometer covered is 2,500 kilometers. So let's put it inside the equation, which our equation says C is equal to A plus LB. So 950 is equal to A plus, what is our A? That is 2,500 B. We call this equation 2. So this is how we interpret partial variation question. We have able from the question, we are able to have deduce the algebraic form from it. The first one is 350 is equal to A plus 500B. The second one is 950 is equal to A plus 250B. So let's try to combine the two equations together to have a reasonable answer. Combine equation 1 and 2 together. So we have 350 is equal to A plus 500B. We have a 950 is equal to A plus 250B. So we have reached a place to solve as a simultaneous equation. Let's apply the attitude of minus. Let's subtract this equation 2 from 1. By the time we're able to see it, we have this should be a negative side, which is minus 600. That is 350. 350 minus 950 will give us minus 600 is equal to A minus A. We have 0. 500 minus 2500B. 2500B. So we have a minus 2000B. So this is how we're able to get the value by the time we subtract the both from each other. So we have, so if we have a minus 600 is equal to minus 2000B. So let the divide both side by minus 600. So we have minus 2000. Minus 2000. We have a minus 600 over minus 2000 is equal to minus 2000 B over minus 2000. To make B as a subject of the formula, you need to divide the both side by minus 2000. So it will cancel. So minus will cancel minus. So B will be, this will cancel, it will be 6 over 20, which will give us 0.3, or this is a 2, that is 3 over 10. So that is the value of B. So let's apply the value of B into A and into first equation, and let's see what our value will be. Let's have from equation 1. From equation 1, this is our equation 1. You can pick either from equation 1 or equation 2. So in from that, we have 350 is equal to A plus 500 B. So we have 350 is equal to A plus 500 onto 0.3. So which we now have 350 is equal to A plus. So by the, you now multiply 500 with 0.3. So it will give us 150. So 500 to multiply 150. From the continuation, so we have 350 minus 150 is equal to A. A is equal to 300. Is equal to 200. So we are able to get the values of A and B. In variation, something common, we call it a relationship. Let's write out the relationship between A and B from the equation before we're able to get the value of our answer. So the relationship between C and L, which we have C is equal to A plus BL. We have gotten the value of B to be 0.3 and A to be 200, but you can write 3 over 10. We now have C is equal to, our A is 200 plus B is 3 over 10, which is n dot or n onto 3 over 10. So you will now write to have C is equal to 200 plus 3L over 10. So this is now the relationship between them. So it is now this relationship you will now use to find our final answer, which is our final. It said find the cost of maintaining when it covered 3,500 kilometers. So when L is equal to 3,500 kilometers, what is the value of the cost? So the value of the cost will be 200 plus 3 onto 3,500 divided by L. So C will be equal to 200 plus divided by 10. So which we have this, we have 3 onto 3,500. So by the time we have this value, it will surely give us. So let's multiply, let's write it again to have C is equal to 200 plus, so 3 times 350 will give us 1,000. Yes, 1,050. So the cost will now be 1,250. So by representing it in Naira, so the cost of maintaining 3,500 kilometers, we have 1,250 Naira for maintaining the distance cover of 3,500 kilometers. So that is it. So you will see that this is a practical class of mathematics class in variation. So it means that we use 1,250 Naira to maintain a distance covers of 3,500. So this is how. So let's have another example to have another ways of how variation being set in an exam. This is example 2. The cost of catering per head is partly constant and partly varies inversely to the number of people present. If the cost per head for 40 people is 60 Naira and 50 people is 50 Naira, find the cost per head for 100 people. Now, let's try to represent some facts from this expression. Let the cost of catering per head represents C. Let the cost of catering per head represent C, and let the L represent the number of people present. Let L represent the number of people present. So L represents let the cost of catering per head represent C. Let L represent the number of people present. So let's put A and B as their constants. A and B as constants. Now, if A and B are their constants, so let's see what is happening now. Let's now interpret. The cost of catering per head is partly constant and partly varies inversely to the number of people present. This is what it's trying to say. The cost of catering is partly constant, represented by A, plus, and partly constant, this is a constant, which is A. Partly varies as inversely. Recall our first question, partly varies. We did not put inversely, but this question, it involves inversely, and partly vary inversely to the number of people present. So if it is inversely to the number of people present, we have B over number of people present. So this is the equation we're able to deduce from the expression. So now let's be putting the value one by one to get the accurate answer. He said if the cost per head for 40 people is 60 naira. So if when n is 40 for 40 people and the cost is 60 naira. So he said this does meaning if the cost per head for 40 people is 60 naira. So let's put it, we have 60 is equal to A plus B over 40. Before we leave this stage, let's try to turn this equation to linear form. How do we turn this equation to linear form? Is by multiply all through by 40. Every of this equation multiply by 40 because 40 is in denominator as an LCM. So we have a 40 to multiply 60 is equal to 40 to multiply A plus 40 to multiply B over 40. So we have 2,400 is equal to 40A plus this, we cancel this, we have B. So this equation, we call it equation 1. So from that our expression, we are able to deduce equation 1. So let's try to deduce equation 2 at this junction. So how do we deduce our equation 2? He said in the second statement, and for 50 people is 50 naira. So when C is equal to, for 50 naira, that is the cost, and L is equal to 50 people. So let's insert this value into this equation. Our cost is 50 naira. 50 naira is equal to the first constant plus the second constant over the number of people. So this is how it will look like. The 50 is equal to A plus B over 50. So let's try to turn this equation again to linear form. So to turn this one to linear form, we have 50 to multiply 50 is equal to 50 times A plus 50 times B over 50. So we have a 2,500 is equal to 50A plus 50, we cancel 50, we have a B. We represent this by equation 2. So let's just see now. We have equation 1 to be 2,400 is equal to 4A plus B. Equation 2, 2,500 plus is equal to 50A plus B. So what next to do is to combine the two equations together and get a meaningful answer. Combine equation 1 and 2 together. So combining these two equations together, we have, so what we now need here is that you can put, because 500 is equal to 50A plus B, the equation 1, 2,400 is equal to 40A plus B. So what I just tried to do here, I'm trying to subtract equation 1 from 2. I'm trying to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So I'm subtracting 1 from 2. So which we have, let's put minus here. 2,500 minus 24 will surely give us 100 is equal to 50A minus 40A will give us 10A. This is 0. So which is 10A is equal to 100. Let's divide both sides by 10. We have A is equal to 100 over 10. So to cancel, the value of our A is equal to 10. So if the value of our A is equal to 10, you have right to take any, we have the right to take any of the value to represent. So if A is equal to 10, let's take from equation 1. From equation 1, which is 2,400 is equal to 40A plus B. So 2,400 plus 40A, so we have 2,400 is equal to 40 times 10 plus B. We have 2,400 is equal to 400 plus B. 2,400 minus 400 is equal to B, telling us that 2,000 is equal to B and B is equal to 2,000. So from here, we are able to get the value of our A and B. So for getting the value of A and B, let's now try to put it inside to have the very reasonable relationship. So the relationship between the cost and the number of people present will be C is equal to the value of A is 10 plus the value of B is 2,000 divided by A. So we call this relationship. So it is now this relationship you will now use to find the value given to us. And the question says that find the cost per head for 100 people. So the cost is unknown for number of 100 people. So now to get the cost for the 100 people, now we now have, for finding the cost for the 100 people, we have C is equal to 10 plus 2,000 to divide 100. So 0 cancel 0, this cancel this, we have a C is equal to 10 plus 20, which gives us 30. So the cost for 100 people, which is C, will be equal to 30 naira. So the cost for the 100 people, it will be 30 naira. So this is our first example raising us about different algebraic equation. And this second example also telling us that when it is inversely proportional, the first one is directly proportional, the second example is inversely proportional. So now, our next example, you discover from this example that the first constant does not have anything doing, but now our first constant will surely have something now in our next example. These are the three ways they can set partial variation in WAEC, in NECO, in JAMB, in GRE exam, in SAT1, SAT2 exam, in any international exam. We have using this opportunity to explain how you can solve the word problem. So let's go to the next example that reveal the another powerful secret of solving the word problems of partial variation. Example 3. The cost of carpeting a floor partly varies as the area of the floor and is partly proportional to the square of the length. It costs 500 naira to carpet a floor 5 meter by 6 meter, while it costs 240 naira to carpet a floor 3 meter by 40 meter. Find the cost of carpeting a floor 3 meter square. let's try to represent some terms. The cost of carpeting, let's see represent the cost. Now, if C represent the cost, let P and Q, let P and Q represents the constants, and A represents the area and L represents the length of the room. The length of the floor. The length of the floor. So from the question, let C represent the cost. Let P and Q represent the constant, and A represent the area, and L represent the length of the floor. So now, let's start interpreting according to the question. It said, the cost of carpeting a floor. That's what is the cost of carpeting a floor. It says partly varies as the area. That is P of the area. Plus, it continues, it said, and partly proportional to the square of the length, LQ raised. So this is the equation. P and Q are the constants. This is the area. This is the length. Now, he now said it costs 500 naira to carpet a floor, 5 meters. So when C is 500 naira and area is 5 meters by 6 meters. Please, I want to go back to a trigonometry at this junction, at a geometry, where we want to talk about the area of a given shape. So for finding the area of any given shape, we have area is length to multiply breadth, so which is L times B. So telling us that if we are given any area to be 5 meters to multiply 6 meters, telling us that this is L, this is B. So from this our equation, we will be given the area to be length times breadth, which is L times B. That is the short form. A is length times breadth. Now, which A is equal to 5 meters to multiply 6 meters. At this junction, we now have it telling us that L is equal to 5. It now means that L is equal to 5 meters and B is equal to 6 meters. So we now put it at this value, telling us that our cost is 500 naira. We give us P. What is our area? By the time we multiply our area here, we have from here, our area give us 5 times this, give us 30 meters square. So it will be 30P plus, what is our L? From here, from the analogy here, we let us to know that the length of an area, the area of a given shape is length times breadth. So our length will now be 5. Will now give us 5 squared Q. So which we have 500 is equal to 30P plus 25Q. So we're able to see from here as equation 1. Let me try to explain the way I deduce the first equation. So for you to get it clearly, I try to explain to you that we represent our equation by C is equal to PA plus L square Q. C is the cost, P and Q are the constants, A is the area, while the L is the length. And from the question, it said the cost of carpeting the floor partly varies as the area of the floor and partly proportional to the square of the length. But I try to back you to the geometric terms that for a given shape, the area of any given shape, it is length times breadth. And we have been given the area for the first statement. The area is 5 meter by 6 meter. So, and 5 meter by 6 meter will give us 30 meter square. That is the area. And we measure area by meter square. So now, that is 30 meters square. So, telling us that if there's an equivalency, if area is 5 meter to multiply 6 meter, it's telling us that the length is 5 meter and the breadth is 6 meter. So we are able to get from the given data, we are able to get the values of A and the values of L. And by the time we input it, we have 500 is equal to 30p plus 5 square Q, which is 500 is equal to 30p plus 25Q. This is our first equation. We are able to use this to get our first equation. So it is now, let's now reduce by 5. Let's reduce equation 1 by 5. So we have 500 over 5 is equal to 30p over 5 plus 25q over 5. So we have 100 is equal to 6p plus 5q. We are still in equation 1. We have just reduced it. So let's leave it to make our value simple. So that's why we reduce it by 5. So now the second statement from that telling us that the carpeting, why it costs 240 when C is equal to 240 and the area is 3 meter by 6 meter. So from here we're able to know that our L is 3 meter and our breadth is 6 meter. So is it 6? 4. 6 by 4. We have a 6 by 4 meter. 6 by 4. This is a 4 meter. So now, let's now put it here. Our cost is 240. That is 240 is equal to, what is our area? Our area is 12 meters square. So we have 12p plus, so what is our L? Our L now is 3. That is 3 square Q. We have a 240 is equal to 12p plus 9q. So at this, let's also be able to know that 3 can go in all. Yes, 3 can go in all. So let's try to reduce by 3. So in reducing here by 3, we have 240 to divide 3 is equal to 12p to divide 3 plus 9q divided by 3. So this we cancel this, we have 80 is equal to 4p plus 3q. This is another beautiful equation 2. We are able to see the two shapes that are two rectangular shape that have been circled with have been rectangularized. So now, what else do you now want to do from our first equation and second equation? So let's combine the first equation and second equation together to have a meaningful value. Let's call this one 1 and this one 2. Combine equation 1 and 2. So we have 100 is equal to 6p plus 5q. Here we have 80 is equal to 4p plus 3q. Now, for having, if you multiply this equation 2 by 3, we have 12. By 2, we have 12. So let's try to eliminate, to multiply by 2, to multiply by 3. Let's see what will give us. if 2 multiply 100, we have 200 is equal to 12p plus 10q. So here again we have a 240 is equal to 12p plus 9q. So let's apply subtraction, which is 200 minus 240 will surely give us minus 40. We have a minus 40 is equal to, this will cancel this, is equal to q. So therefore our q is equal to minus 40. So our q from this our equation is equal to minus 40. So from here again, let's now use it to find our p, the next constant. So from equation 1 now, let's deduce from equation 1, we have 100 is equal to 6p plus 5q. So now we have 100 is equal to 6p plus 5 onto minus 40. So 100 is equal to 6p minus, this is 200. So by having this, 100 plus 200 give us 6p. So 300 is equal to 6p. Let's divide both sides by 6. Divide by 6. 6p divide by 6. So this will cancel this. This will cancel this. 50 is equal to p. Now, this is the value. So our equation is C is equal to P onto area plus L square onto this. So let's try to write the relationship between the CAL. So we have C is, our P is 50. That is 50A plus L square onto minus 40. So C is equal to 50A minus 40L square. So this is the relationship between them. We are able to get the relationship between the both equation, which is C is equal to 50A minus 40L square. So our question to find from here says that the cost of carpentering a 3-meter square, that is where we are now going to. The cost of carpentering 3-meter square floor. So if it means that the area is 3 meter by 3 meter, which is 9 meter square. So that is the area. Area is 3 meter by 3 meter is equal to 9 meter square. So from here, we are able to know that our L is 3 meter and area is 9 meter square. So this is exactly what we need from this junction. So this is what we need. So we now use this to find the value, so which we have. So the cost here now give us our C. Now the C is equal to, we want to get the cost now. 50 onto, what is our area? 9 minus 40 onto, what is our L? Our L is 3 square. So we continue from here to have C is equal to 50 onto 9 minus 40 onto 9. So C is equal to 9 is common. We have 50 minus 40. So C is equal to 9 onto 10. So from here, C is equal to 90. So the cost of carpentering the square of 3 meter is, the cost is 90 naira. So this is the cost of carpentering a 3 meter square floor. So These are the three ways how we can set a questions under variation. We have able to explain the first one, that it is direct without inversely. It is directly proportional, and we have able to solve an example that talks about when the second constant can be varied by inversely. But this last question, at the both constants are varies. The first constant are varies, and the second constant also varies. So we have explained the three patterns how partial variation can be set in the word problem. So we are now using this time to give you an example, an assignment that you are going to solve and send to our Facebook page, to our YouTube page or Facebook page, or for you getting this product, you can send it to our WhatsApp to show that you really practice the question. There is a group that we created that you send your solution to, that will let us to know that you are getting the answers of the assignment given to you. So now let's have a very reasonable assignment, a reasonable class work. So this is a class work. The cost of sinking a well X metered deep varies partly as X and partly as SK. A well of this kind costs 180 naira. If the depth is 30 meter and costs 280 naira if the depth is 40 meter, how deep is the well? Is the cost is 400 naira. Number 2, D is partly constant and partly varies with V. When V is equal to 40, D is equal to 150, and when V is equal to 54, D is equal to 192. Find the formula connecting D and V. That is number 1. Number 2, hence, find D. Find D and V is equal to 73. So thanks for watching this video, taking your time to watch this video. And if you're watching our YouTube page, try to subscribe. And if you get it in a way where we are selling this product, thanks for getting this product, and stay tuned for next of our products, and check our page. You see much of our products that you need, so you can be able to learn. And also, for any question, you contact us from our About Us, from where you get the link. So thanks for your times and what you have been able to have gained.